Welcome to SSR Pharma Media, your trusted source for pharma knowledge. HAP Exam Edge Series, MCQs for Success. Human Anatomy and Physiology. Today we are going to discuss about nose and tongue. Prepare, practice, succeed. So in sense organs, so previous video we have discussed about eye and ear. This video we are going to discuss about nose and tongue. Only the important questions discussed over here. It's very important for the exam point of view. Like MRB, ESI and pharmacist, government pharmacist exams. So nose, so structure of nose. So you see the structure of nose. So external rectal nose and nose, septums of the nose. The nasal cavity is divided into right and left halves by option A, nasal conchae, option B, nasal septum, option C, ethmoid air cells, option D, maxillary sinus. So the answer is option B, nasal septum. So the nasal septum is composed of cartilage and bone, divides the nasal cavity into right and left part. So nasal septum, right and left part. The primary function of nasal turbinates is option A, sound conduction, option B, humidifications and filtration of inspired air, option C, sense of equilibrium, option D, phonation. So the answer is option B, humidification and filtration of inspired air. So it's a conchae, it's also called conchae, it's a nasal turbinates. So it is involving in the humidification and filtration of the inspired air. So nasal conchae increases surface area, warm, humidify and filter air before reaching the lungs. Next, the olfactory nerve, it is type of cranial nerve 1. So terminates in the option A, pons, option B, medulla, option C, olfactory pulp, option D, thalamus. So the answer is option C, olfactory bulb. So olfactory neurons synapse in the olfactory bulb and transmitting smell sensation. So olfactory nerves. Which artery is most commonly involved in epistaxis? So it is type of nose bleeding. Option A, internal carotid artery. Option B, sphenopalatine artery. Option C, anterior ethmoidal artery. Option D, maxillary artery. So the answer is option B, sphenopalatine artery. So nasal drug delivery bypasses the first pass metabolism due to vascular nasal mucosa. So it's a sphenopalatine artery. The nasal cycle refers to option A, sneezing reflex, option B, periodic congestions and decongestion of nasal turbinates, option C, olfactory adaptation, option D, nasal mucus secretion rhythm. So answer is option B, periodic congestion and decongestion of nasal turbinates. So the nasal cycle is on autonomic alternating congestions and decongestions of nasal passages. The Hisselbalch plexus is located in option A, posterior nasal septum, option B, anterior nasal septum, option C, lateral nasal wall, Option D, nasopharynx. So the answer is option B, anterior nasal septum. So Hasselbalch plexus is a little area in the anterior septum is the common site of epistaxis. So this is the Hasselbalch plexus. Mucociliary clearance in nose mainly depends on option A, eustachian tube, option B, globate cells and ciliary movement, option C, pharyngeal tonsil, option D, ethmoid sinus. So the answer is option B, globate cells and ciliary movements. So mucociliary clearance trap dust and pathogens in mucus and cilia transport it to pharynx. Which cranial nerve mediates sneezing reflex initiated by nasal mucosa irritation? Option A, vagus nerve. Option B, facial nerve. Option C, trigeminal nerve. Option D, hypoglossal nerve. So the answer is option C, trigeminal nerve. So the trigeminal nerve senses nasal irritation. It leads sneeze reflex. And next, we are going to discuss about the sense organ tongue. So this is the structure of tongue. So in the tongue, papillae and tongue. So here there are different regions are there. You read it from this picture. Which papillae are most numerous on the tongue but contain no taste buds? Option A, fungiform. Option B, circumvallate. Option C, filiform. Option D, foliate. So the answer is option C, filiform. So filiform palliae are conical, keratinized, mechanical in function and lack taste buds. So here different type of forms are fungiform, filiform, foliates are there. So in this middle of the tongues, so mainly filiform type of buds are present. Which papillae of tongue contain the highest number of taste buds? Option A, fungiform. Option C, circumvallate. Option C, filiform. Option D, foliate. So the answer is option B, circumvallate. So circumvallate papillae, so nearly 8 to 12 large papillae in a V-shaped anterior to sulcus terminalis that contains the majority of the taste buds. So majority of the taste bud, so back side of our tongue. So more number of taste buds are present. So that area will feel bitter taste. And middle used to feel sour taste. And tip of the tongue will feel sweet and salt taste. The posterior 1/3 of tongue is supplied both taste and general sensation by option A, vagus nerve. Option B, glossopharyngeal nerve. Option C, lingual nerve. Option D, facial nerve. So the answer is option B, glossopharyngeal nerve. So glossopharyngeal is a type of cranial nerve 9, supplies both general and taste to the posterior 1/3 of tongue. The intrinsic muscles of tongue are supplied by option A, vagus nerve. Option B, hypoglossal nerve. Option C, glossopharyngeal nerve. Option D, facial nerve. So the answer is option B, hypoglossal nerve. So all intrinsic and extrinsic muscles of tongue are supplied by hypoglossal. It is type of cranial nerve 12. Except palatoglossus nerve, that means vagus nerve. Which nerve supplies taste buds of epiglottis and base of tongue? Option A, glossopharyngeal. Option B, facial. Option C, vagus. Option D, hypoglossal. So the answer is option B, facial. So, sorry, answer is wrong. It is the vagus nerve. Supply epiglottis is type of vagus nerve. So here answer is C. Answer is C is the vagus. So vagus is the type of cranial nerve 10. So innervates state taste buds of epiglottis and extreme posterior tongue. The taste receptors are classified as option A, thermoreceptors, option B, mechanoreceptor, option C, chemoreceptor, option D, photoreceptor. So the answer is option C, chemoreceptor. So chemoreceptor, it is a taste receptor respond to chemical molecules in saliva. The tip of the tongue is most sensitive to option A, bitter, option B, sour, option C, sweet, option D, umami. So the answer is option C, sweet. Sweet and salt. The tip of the tongue is sweet and salt. So the tip of the tongue has highest density of receptor for sweet taste and also artificial sweets and sugars, salt also. Which taste is considered protective as it often detects toxic alkaloids? Option A, sweet, option B, sour, option C, bitter, option D, salty. So the answer is option C, bitter. So the bitter taste receptors at the posterior tongue protect against ingestion of potentially harmful compounds like alkaloids, quinine and caffeine. Which ions are primarily responsible for the salty taste sensation? Option A, hydrogen ion, option B, sodium ion, option C, calcium ion, option D, potassium ion. So the answer is option B, sodium ion. So sodium ion salty taste is mediated by sodium ions entering taste cell via ion channels. Which taste is mainly sensed at the posterolateral margin of the tongue? Option A, sweet, option B, salty, option D, sour, option D, bitter. So the answer is option C, sour. Sour taste is detected predominantly at the posterolateral edges of the tongue. Sour taste. Umami taste is primarily mediated by receptors sensitive to option A, glucose, option B, sodium chloride, option C, monosodium glutamate, option D, bitter alkaloids. So the answer is option C, monosodium glutamate. It's a type of umami taste. So umami is the savory taste detected by glutamate receptor stimulated by monosodium glutamate. So umami is a savory taste is detected by glutamate receptor and enhanced by nucleotide like inosinate and guanylate. Which palpi are located mainly on the tip and side of the tongue and contain few taste buds? Option A, folate, option B, filiform, option C, fungiform, option D, circumvallate. So the answer you tell in the comment. If you like this video, you join in our WhatsApp community. You will get hands-out material and test series for many competitive. It's useful for many government pharmacist exams and GPAT and a different type of competitive exams like GPAT exams also. Thank you. Like, subscribe and share.